friends. In today's video, I'm finishing up the spring clean of our fully finished basement. This is the dirtier part, and you might be scared of the dirt and grime I show you, but I promise you'll be satisfied at some of the dirty water pours I share. We're cleaning and scrubbing the mudroom area from top to bottom and side to side. I give my slop sinks, washer, and dryer a thorough cleaning. I finish washing all the walls and floors with my cedar mop. And last but not least, I share with you just what it looks like to wash teenage athletes' laundries. You will be stunned by the color of the wash water. So pop my video on your TV, tablet, or phone and clean along with me, or sit back and relax with your favorite drink and stockpile this cleaning motivation for future use. Hope you enjoy. Don't forget to like my video, comment below, subscribe to my channel, and click that bell notification for more inspiring motivational videos. Let's be friends on Instagram too. You can find me at Home with Elizabeth. Alrighty friends, good morning. This is a Thursday morning that I was cleaning this basement, and of course I'm starting out with separating some clothes. These are my youngest son's clothes. I'd already been up in the morning and got my one nephew's clothes in the washer. It's actually his day, it is not my youngest son's day, but I am doing his laundry anyways. So we're just going to sort it, and while we're sorting it, I'm going to give you a little bit of an introduction. So welcome back to my channel. If you're new around here, my name's Elizabeth. I'm a 51-year-old wife and stay-at-home mom to 7 adult/teenage children. I have 2 girls aged 26 and 22, 3 boys aged 20, 17, and 15, and I have 2 bonus boys, 16-year-old twins. They're my nephews that I got custody of a few years ago. On my channel, you're going to find lots of cleaning motivation, cleaning inspiration. You'll find a little bit of organization, decluttering, and even decorating. But what you're going to find lots and lots of is real life. I like to keep it real here on my channel and share my perfectly imperfect life with you all. I strive to help others not feel so alone in this world and to help them realize that the best way to live their life is as their most perfectly imperfect self also. If this sounds like content you would enjoy watching, make sure you subscribe to my channel because I'd love to have you join my community. As you see there, I'm putting my nephew's clothes in the dryer, and then we're going to get my youngest son's first load in, and he ends up having 2 loads today. And I try to, like I always say, I set a timer and I try to stay on it today, but of course I end up getting it all done before like the end of the day, but it wasn't as quick as I really wanted it to be. So I'm just cleaning out my racks that I hang up my clothes on, and the extra clothes basket we keep down here, I'm just sticking it in the family room over there so that I'm not having to stop in the middle of cleaning to move that stuff. I just wanted to get it out of the way. So we are starting in this mudroom area. This is the far end of our basement. Next to the brown door is my garage door. The white door on the right there is to the outside. So my children are terrible about putting their shoes in our cubby right here. They leave them lay on the floor, they throw them behind the door. So all I did right there is gather everything up that was loose, and I put it in that box, and we stuck it in the garage so that I can get clean down here. So right now I'm going to show you all the dirt and dust on this end of the room. And if you haven't been around for a while, we are a large family. We have 4 teenage boys, myself and my husband. We have 2 golden doodles. So there is a lot of people and a lot of animals coming in and out of this area of the house multiple times a day. And we live in the Northeast, so we are just finishing up with winter. So there's constantly dirt and dust and leaves and salt. My children are athletes, so we have mud, we have little rubber balls. You can see them right there. They're rubber balls that are in our turf field. I call them turf turds. There's rocks. During the winter months, there's tons of salt. So this area needs a ton of TLC, and we're going to give it to it today. So we are starting by getting some vacuuming done. And friends, I vacuum and mop all throughout this video just because of the dirt and grime down here. Like, it doesn't get picked up the first time. So I am constantly vacuuming and constantly mopping. So we're getting these rugs vacuumed, and we're getting them out in my garage. And I will tell you, friends, I don't even bring this runner rug back into the house. I put my blue one that I used to have upstairs here, and then during one of my breaks when I was sitting on the couch watching some YouTube with my pups, I ordered a new rug from Amazon for this area. I show it to you a little bit later in the video. It's actually a little bigger too. It's a 5x8 and it is washable. And those two rugs that I have down here, they're super old. They're probably at least 5, if not 6 years old, even maybe older. I bought them in either 2018 or 2019, and I have them in my old house. They were mostly in front of our front door, and the rectangle one was under my desk. When we moved here to our new house, I brought them downstairs. And I want to say I paid maybe between $20 and $40 for each of them. So it was probably about a total of $60 to $80. So I definitely got my money's worth. So here you see I have my Tyneco. I thought I was going to use it today, but when I got it down here to start using, it was only at 28%. So I literally just used it right here in this area before I started getting down on my knees and stuff like that to clean. After this, I do use my O-Cedar mop the rest of the time. I've said this before, I almost need another wet dry mop to use down here in this area. So there was just a little bit of dirty water that was in it. So we're using a little bit of powdered Tide and hot water to clean everything down here. Even like the baseboards. And I hate to do that because it really dries out my hands, but I was doing what was easiest for me, friends. All right, so we got all those coats and mostly dog harnesses and dog leashes off of this coat rack. So we're gonna start washing these walls right here, friends. And if you're new around here, but you watched my last video, the first part of my basement clean, that dark bluey gray paint that you just saw, that's the color I want to take over into my hallway. It's called Blue Twilight, and it's by Valspar. I am also washing all of the cement walls today too. As hard as they are to wash, they tear up my mop head a little bit. I'm getting them washed. So you saw me mop all the outside of my door. I'm using my Pledge multi-surface to clean the windows and the door handles because it is antibacterial. And you just saw there our doorknob was getting loose, so I just grabbed a screwdriver and tightened it. And we eventually want to cover these walls, these brick walls, with a beadboard, like the big panels of it. But right now, I mean, they're such in good shape. They do need a coat of dry lock, which is something we use here in the Northeast to keep moisture from seeping through like your cement blocks, because they are very porous. They do need a good coat of dry lock to get them white. We may actually just do that and worry about the beadboard a few years down the road. So we have moved to this shoe cubby. I got it last August from Amazon. It was really reasonable priced. I am just sweeping, taking out the shoes, using my vacuum to sweep up what I can, using my Mrs. Meyer's mint all-purpose spray. I'm spraying in there and wiping them out, and you could see how much dirt was still coming out even after I swept. But not only did this have the dirt and stuff in it, it also had salt puddles from during the winter time when kids would walk in with, salt on their shoes. We are planning on getting they're called a boot brush for next year, but really you can step on it and you just brush your shoes off. It takes the snow and the salt off. We're hoping that keeps a lot of it outside so it's not as dirty down here during the winter months. And even though I vacuumed, look at all the trash that came out of those. Those friends that always look like mouse turds, I call them turf turds. They're the rubber pellets that are in our artificial turf at our high school. They're always all over my house. Okay, so some of those tennis shoes that you saw me pick up off the floor at the beginning of this video, I'm going to put them in these holes. My kids, I know it's easier just to take them off and throw them on that black tray, but my kids need to understand that to keep this place cleaner longer, you're gonna have to put them in the cubbies. So yeah. You guys know I like to keep it very real with you. So I am taking my nephew's clothes out of the dryer, and this is my youngest son's first load of laundry going in it. Well, while it was draining, I happened to be over near my slop sinks with my phone, and I grabbed this picture. That is the wash water from my youngest son's clothes. Friends, that's what it looks like to have children that are athletes that are constantly at practice, at games, lifting weights. Just that was pure dirt water coming out of his clothes. So there you go, friends. That's the real, the raw, and the dirty of Elizabeth's laundry. And I'm sure all the other children's are just as bad. I was cleaning down here, so I just so happened to catch it with my youngest son's. All right, so we got his second load in the washer, and we're gonna let it wash when we get back down to this mudroom area so that we can finish cleaning. And this is all the stuff that got kicked under our shoe cubby and fell behind it. So yeah, lots of dirt, lots of little rocks, lots of turf turds, leaves. So we just got my baseboard vacuumed, and we're using this is my Dyson V10 Animal. We're using it to sweep up everything. And again, we're hitting these walls with my Tide and my cedar mop. We're just using my Mrs. Meyer's mint there to spray on these baseboards and get them wiped up. All right, friends, this next clip is an empty sink. I went to pour my very first dirty water pour and my battery died. But rest assured, friends, the other 2 or 3 that you see, that first one was just as dirty. It was gross. I was so sad. Like, I was trying to hurry up because I saw that my light was flashing and it was just dead. And I couldn't recreate it because I'd already poured it. So I apologize for that, friends. But there are still many more dirty water pours in this video. All right, these are black boot trays. I got them at Aldi's, I don't know, 2 months ago, 3 months ago. They just have salt and dirt in them. I just was using some Tide to scrub them up, and we're just gonna let them drip dry in my slop sink there. Now, friends, this is the main water pipe in our house. It's the one that goes like where all of our water comes in, and it was so filthy. It was dusty. It was like, I don't know, it was just gross. So we just got it wiped up. And of course, this window, friends, is in our basement. This is right outside my oldest son's room. You saw how dirty it was. It just gets dusty. It is an old window, and we do have plans to replace it. But it's going to be fairly expensive because they have to cut it out of our cement walls and then build a new frame and then put the new window in. We had an estimate in October last year, and it was about $800. My guess is it'd be probably $200 or $300 more. It's really not too bad energy efficient wise, so we're just leaving it. But I did clean the blinds there a little bit. So see there, that dirty water pour, that's literally just the pipe, the window, and the blinds. Pretty dusty on this end of the basement, which is why I said I'm so happy my other end isn't. I told you I think the dust gods are making that one not get dusty because they make this end so dusty. We're getting this cubby pushed back against the wall, and we are going to then move to the baseboards on this side of the room. I didn't get those done after I did the walls and stuff. And of course, the scuffs didn't come off there behind the door because the kids were kicking their shoes off because I had that tray setting there. I do not put that tray back. I put it in the garage. So we're just giving this side another mop, just getting up all the dirt, all the grime, making it so Mama can walk with no slippers and it doesn't freak her out. All right, we just hung up all the stuff that belongs there because everything was dry, and we are moving into this hallway that leads into the house. I'm just getting preliminary sweeping up, getting rock, dirt, dust, and I am clearing off these coat racks, and we have the dehumidifier down here because, again, it's been raining here on and off every day for like the last 3 weeks. The kids are always coming from practice or games wet, so we've been putting cleats on there, regular shoes on there, just to keep them from stinking, getting them dried out very quickly. So here's where I put this rug down. This was originally upstairs in my hallway between all the bedrooms, and then Harper kept peeing on it, so I brought it down here and put it in the hallway between my 2 sons' room, and now I moved it here in front of the cubby hole temporarily. And here's the rug I ordered from Amazon. It was on sale, plus it had a 15 or 10% coupon off, so I only ended up paying about $28 for it, I think. Even if it only lasts for a few years, it's well worth it. And it is washable. I don't know if you could tell that in that picture, but it is washable. So now these are those shoes from the garage, and I'm just getting them in the cubby.
These I'm gonna put out in the garage. They're actually all my middle sons, and he already has 2 pairs of tennis shoes in there and a pair of cleats. And a pair of dress shoes.
So as I said, I left mine and my husband's tray there, and then the other tray that used to be behind the door, we threw it out in the garage with extra shoes. All right, this is my son's, his first load of laundry coming out of the dryer. This is his second load going in the washer. I actually did take a picture of that wash water too. I'm not gonna throw it in here, but it was just as dirty. So we are getting this out. So now I can move down to this end of the basement and get my cleaning, the cleaner that I use in my washer. It's from Dollar Tree. It's $1.25. It works good, I think. I don't have any complaints. Of course, my washer doesn't really stink at all, but I do show you the water as this drains, and it's not dirty. So either it's not working and everything is still clogged in there, or my washer just isn't that dirty, so there's really nothing to clean out of it. Who knows? But I use it and I like it. All right, we are finishing getting some of these walls scrubbed, and this is just like right on the other side of the bathroom there. If you are new around here, these 2 accordion doors, one faces the back door, this one faces the bathroom. Our furnace and hot water tank are in there. We had them closed. You can see it a little bit right there. We had it enclosed when we did our basement, had our basement finished last year in July. They're accordion doors because they actually made the doorways a lot bigger so that workers can get in and get to the furnace, they can get in and get to the hot water heater. They're not my favorite, but they're okay. I mean, there's nothing too wrong with them. All right, so earlier I got this area swept, and now we're getting it mopped. We're just kind of waiting for my washer to get close to being done because I still need to clean it out. So we're getting everything back on these coat hooks, which is mostly hats, and these are mine and my husband's sweatshirts. That small accordion door is just to go under our steps. It's like extra storage. We don't need it. I actually wish the young boy who was doing the drywall work in that area would have just left it closed, but it's okay. Who knows? Maybe sometime down the road we might need it, or if we ever have to sell years and years from now, it might be a good selling point for someone who wants to store stuff under those steps. Right, we're getting this rug in front of my washer and dryer vacuumed, and then we're just going to get the rest of this hardwood floor vacuumed. And it's not real hardwood, friends. It's like luxury vinyl plank floor from Lowe's. It's called hardwood because that's a lot easier than to say luxury vinyl floor. Do show you here inside my washer, like it doesn't look dirty, so I'm guessing my washer just maybe isn't that dirty. All right, and now we're getting it mopped. We're on this far end here with these cement walls getting it washed. Friends, if you are new here or you didn't watch last week's video, just to the right there is our family room. Go ahead and go back one video, and I deep cleaned that family room and the hallway, outside of my 2 boys' rooms, and then like our steps and stuff. I kind of split the basement in half to do 1 part spring cleaning and part 2 of spring cleaning, which is this. So friends, this shelf has been up since we bought the house. We have never had this light plugged in. I don't know if they used it or not, but as I started cleaning off the junk that accumulates there, I'm like, why do I have this light up? We haven't plugged in. Why do I have this board left on there? So as you see, I'm trying to like pop it off. Well, after I shut off my camera and kind of did some investigation, I figured out how to get it off. So see, here's this wash water draining from the cleaner. It's crystal clear. So I guess it's either it's clean or it's not really cleaning anything. But I figured out there were screws holding on that light, and then there were screws screwed into the bottom of this little front piece. I just took them down. I did save the light. I went out and put it in my husband's garage on his workbench, just in case he might want it for something else. I don't think so. We haven't used it in a year, so my guess is we're not going to use it. But this shelf just looks a little better with all that extra stuff off of it. You're going to see it's filthy. Again, we do plan on putting beadboard on these cement walls, but this area may be tricky because of all of our piping and the dryer vent. So I was just trying to make it look as nice as possible with what I was working with. So I'm just showing you, I'm just giving this a little better vacuum since I got that lip thing off, and then we're just going to use my mop to mop it off, and we're going to put the stuff back up on it. We're just working with what we have here, friends. All right, here's another filthy, dirty water pour. That's just dust and stuff from the walls. So here I'm putting my stuff up, and then I went into my son's bathroom and got my scrubbing bubbles. You can see it really good here, the soap scum, especially in this right sink where my washer drains. So it's a toss up here in the Northeast. When we first moved here, the very first house we lived in, it drained like this into our slop sink. The second house we lived in, which was our old house, it had its own pipe that it drained in. So it did not drain into the slop sink. And then when we moved here, this one drains into the slop sink. And so because when it does that, you know, the water sits there for a little bit, so it's that soap residue, and of course you saw the dirt in my son's water. It creates a ring around this slop sink. So as you can see right here how well it came off. I usually use my Dawn Platinum to scrub it off. This time I use the scrubbing bubbles. I just always have to give this slop sink a good scrubbing every once in a while just to get that soap scum off. It's just like your shower or your bathtub. It cleans up spick and span and almost looks brand new. So now we're just giving it a good rinse. And then I'm going to clean like the top of it. All right, friends, we're coming to the end. We have about 5 minutes left. So we're, last but not least, working on this dryer and this washer, and we are just cleaning it from the inside out. You're gonna see here the lint and stuff that gets caught in this rubber seal of my dryer. Yeah, it needs scrubbed out every once in a while, friends. You just got to wipe it out. And I vacuum my screen. I stick my vacuum down in my lint trap to get, there wasn't a lot of lint down in there, but you could see like some dust and dirt, like rock crumbles. So we just got it vacuumed up. We got the drum all wiped out, and then we're gonna wipe the outside. And after I pull it out, I do vacuum the back too. After I clean these washer and dryer, it's gonna like skip out, and I'm just gonna do my last water pour. Friends, I went through all 4 of my batteries today. That is how much I was cleaning and how much footage I got. And as I was coming to the end, I knew my battery was gonna die because it was flashing. So you don't see me sweep and mop this very last area. I wanted to save it so that I could film the water pour for you guys. So that's why towards the end it's gonna look a little weird. All right, we got this dryer out. It was very dusty behind here. We're just using our vacuum to sweep it all up, and then we're gonna mop it. And we're vacuuming the back of this dryer, and I'm gonna come on here in a second and tell you what's going on.
I need to empty this before I continue. It's like clogged up here, but everything in the basement besides the washer and dryer.
So that was a lot of dirt and lint, wasn't it, friends? I almost need to do this twice a year. All right, we are just finishing up these brick walls, getting them scrubbed down before we pull the washer out a little bit and start getting it cleaned and wiped down. I do have my washer sitting on one of those like drain mats. Mostly not because I'm afraid it's gonna leak, but you know, we have the soap that we keep right there beside it. My family was always dropping the soap on the floor, and then I couldn't wipe it up. So we got this mat, so now all that powdered Tide dribbles down into it's like a leak mat. And then I just tip my washer up and use my vacuum to vacuum it up. So we're giving this washer a good wipe down. It was just dusty. It gets sticky from like my spray. I lay everything on the top of that washer to spray it with my spray and wash, and it does get sticky and traps dust and lint. So I was just doing that. And of course this inside rim. Friends, do not forget to clean this inside rim of your drum. Look at the dust in there. It gets really dusty. All right, friends, we have about a minute left, but please don't go. Wait to see that last water pour. It's very satisfying, but I'm going to let you go. I'm going to shut my mouth and let you enjoy this last minute of the video. But I want to thank you for being here. If I could ask you to do me a favor, could you give this video a thumbs up, give it a like? If you feel like giving me a comment, I would love it. I love getting to know everyone in my comment section. If you have not subscribed yet, why the heck not? Go ahead and hit that subscribe button and then that bell notification so you never miss another one of my videos. I release every Monday and Thursday at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and I would love to have you join my community. So friends, I will see you in the next video. Until then, have a great day. I'll see you later. Bye.